Good day, students. This is Mr. Mangena narrating, and today we will be exploring the if formula. The if formula is one of the most popular formula within the Microsoft Excel logical formulas. This formula is a comparison logical formula which compares the value of a given condition if true or false. So if the value is true, it will give you a particular outcome, and if a value is false, it will give you a particular outcome. These outcomes are set by you, the user. It may sound a bit easy, but it's more complex. So without further ado, let me practically demonstrate the if formula. Here guys, I've set up a table for you. Within this table, I have the names of the student, their test 1 and test 2 scores, their assignment scores, their total. Their total came about adding the 3 assessment scores. And here guys, we have the percentage. The percentage came about dividing the total out of 300 and multiplying by 100. And within the G column, I have the performance. Within this column, it's where I want to test my if formula. So, the scenario that I've created is that we want to determine the performance standard of the student based on the outcome of their percentage. So in that essence, if the student has obtained a percentage score of above 90 or 90 on the dot, that student is considered an excellent performer. Furthermore, if the student has obtained a score of 70 and above, that student is considered a great performer. And if the student has obtained a score of 50 and above, that student is considered an average performer. And lastly, if the student has obtained a score less than 50, that student is considered a poor performer. So we want the if formula to put those outcomes within this G column automatically. And as I've outlined, we are testing this formula using the percentage score. And the percentage score starts from F2. So meaning we are testing everything from F2. As you can see, in F2 I got 68. That's James Smith score. Right? Therefore, let me practically demonstrate the formula for you within the G column. The if formula starts with an equal sign. Then name of the formula, which is if, followed by an open bracket, which is also called open parenthesis. Once I've opened the bracket, you can see I have 3 conditions given here: the logical test, value if it's true, and value if it's false. You can see all of these 3 conditions are divided by a semicolon. So applied when doing the formula practically. You must divide these conditions using this semicolon. So guys, you can see here, I have opened my bracket and I've got my logical test, meaning that's what I'm testing currently. The logical test is bold now to show that I'm currently testing it or setting it up. Therefore, what we're testing is the F column, F2 column. Alright, I'll type in F2. Once I type in F2, you can see it highlights what I'm testing. So if in F2, a student has obtained a score of 90, right, or greater than 90, the equal sign is for equals to 90 this other sign is greater than 90. So if a student has obtained a score of 90 or greater than 90, that student, if it's true, that student is called an excellent performer, if it's true. Therefore, I'm going to open a quotation, then I write excellent. The reason why I put the open quotations and the closed quotations is because every time you put a word in a formula, you must put those quotations. But if you put in a number, it's not inside the quotations. So therefore, if a student has obtained a score of 90 and above, that student is an excellent performer. If it's true, you can see the true is bold. Therefore, I also want to test the other conditions. For me to test the other conditions, I must press the semicolon. It will go to value if it's false. But I'm not yet there. I want to test the logic again. And for me to test the logic again, I must again type in F2. I mean the if formula, then open bracket, F2. Then if in F2 a student has obtained a mark of 70 or greater, if it's true, open semicolon, if it's true, open quotation, that student is considered a great performer or great performance. Close quotation. Again, I'll repeat the very same sequence. Semicolon, if, open bracket, F2. If in F2 again the student has obtained a score of 50 or greater, semicolon, if it's true that the student has this score, the student is considered to have performed in an average manner. So you can see I've typed in average within the quotations since it's a word, right? So if it's true that the student has all of these conditions or marks, 90, 70 and 50, then it will appear like that. But however, if the student didn't get any of these outcomes, it means it's false, which means I can go to the if it's false condition by pressing the semicolon. You can see now the if it's false condition is bold. Therefore, I will open my quotation and type in poor. Guys, if it's false, it's always the last condition which you put in your if formula. So if you put your if is false, you don't start with if anymore, because it's the last result of anything which you are trying to test. Therefore, I'm done with the formula. You can see if a student in F2 has got 90, it's an excellent performance. If again a student in F2 has got 70 and above, the student got a great performance, if it's true. And if again the student in F2 got a performance mark of 50 and above, the student is an average performer. However, if a student doesn't have all of these marks, it means it's false. Then I press the semicolon to go to value if it's false. That makes it a poor performance. Therefore, here I've used 3 open brackets, you can see, to do the formula, which means I must close with 3 brackets, you can see. Then I'm done. Once I'm done, I need to press enter to initiate the formula. Then OK, yes. as you can see, it says average. I didn't type in average, but the formula did. Again, on Maxwell downhill, it will be average because you got a score of 50 and above, but less than 70. Again, here it will be average. For 89, it must be great. You can see average, great, great. So on 50, on Jane Bloom 49, this should be poor. Why? Because he got 50, less than 50, that's poor. That's the value if it's false statement. It's this one. Then again here, it's going to be average. It's going to be great. Average. Then the 90. Remember, the first condition was if a student got 90 and above is excellent. Therefore, it should do the same. Excellent. So the formula keeps on going like that, guys, up until we arrive to the last student who received poor because it's less than 50. Something is not right here. This is supposed to be less than 50.